ask questions, have fun. I do this a lot with my children. It's a way of integrating them into the worship service. And congregations just think it is so much fun to see them involved this way. It's also a way to use children or even beginning ringers who need just some reinforcement in building some rhythm skills. So before they have notes in their hands where they're needing to read music, they can participate and just build some skills and strengths by being accompaniment to easy things. And the series that I'm using is the Ring Along Hymns. And what is really fun about this, if you're not acquainted with it, is that each book is a single pitch. And I'm holding up, let me hold up one that has the book. But the B-flat book, for example, you open it up inside, and you ring when the word is circled, and you damp the sound of the bell or the hand chime when it's underlined. So there's no reading music, and it's just a real fun way to introduce people to the instrument that are terrified of reading notes. You can also add organ or piano accompaniment. You would just need to check the key that it's in. That's the tricky part. You have to figure out what the key the book is in so that you don't end up with a piano in one key and these books in another key. But it is, it has the starting pitch in here, so that's usually easily done. But it's a fun series. I also use this series to go into nursing homes, hospitals, rehabilitation centers, and just take hand chimes and just carol for the patients. And I'll throw in Happy Birthday, which is real easy to write and important. I'll show you how to do as well. Let me see if I have some. All these notes are
And they all have the same
This may not last long. No, I may not. Let's rephrase that.
All right, someone who is standing and mobile. I'll distribute these for you down here, and this will give you some of my crazy ideas. But creativity. Just want to spark some ideas for you so that you can be very creative. And including younger children and the young at heart. Okay. All right. Before I wear out these people that are on the floor, here's the first percussive part that we will work on. And there's a 3/4 version and there's a 4/4 version. And I know that when I listed in your books we gathered together, we will actually do Come Thou Font. So these are the books that we'll be ringing from. And it's okay to have B-flat 4 and B-flat 5 playing together. So take that book, go ahead and get those, excuse me, my hands off it, and you'll straighten it out. And Come Thou Font is on page 19. So some other ringers up here in the front. You can sort out your parts based on the color of the book that you bought. And I'll work with our percussion folks up here and anyone who wants to try it. I got this idea from a session that I attended in New Zealand where Maori sticks is a very popular thing. So basically these paper towel tubes are like the Maori sticks of New Zealand. And we'll do various patterns with them. So you can make your own using conduit pipe. And what I did with mine was I went to a scout troop and said, who's a Boy Scout that needs a project? And so I had a Boy Scout make a project, and he got credit for it in his troop, and so it all worked together. And you just want to whack them about a foot in length, so you can put your hands around them, just like the Maori sticks. And some of the Maoris actually decorate them. I haven't done that. All right, so here's the deal. We're going to sit, and to be in 3/4, you're going to tap the sticks to your side, then together, and then touch across to your neighbor. That's it. So you have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. write the name wrong?
We didn't have it on here.
All right, we'll do page 15, let's be like top line, that's in 3-4. So 18 for those of you that have. In terms of ringers, you understand how complicated this is to do, eh? So whatever pitch you have on the cover is the one that you play. So if you have an A book, you can grab an A4, A5, A6, one in each hand, does not matter. All right? So I know that's going to be taking them out of keyboard order. We may get actually a few more. Don't be shy. It doesn't hurt. What I found is really lovely, especially when we go to the nursing homes and I do these books with pin chimes, is that those that are mobile will start following us around. And they want to play. So I always try to have an extra set of chimes. And the thing about chimes is, if they get dropped, it's no big deal. You know, I'll leave a ringer with them, but I always want to, if I can get the instruments sometimes in their hands as well, that's always sweet. And these books work so well, and they're going to know the words to these songs because a lot of them are the older hymns. And there's different series of them. All right, so let's put this one together. We're on, let's see. What page number is? What did you say yours was? 18. Okay. Mine's 19. Go figure. All right. So some of my other page numbers might be messed up. All right. So was that our D for a starting pitch? I don't have perfect pitch. Any D?
G or D?
D is in dog.
I don't have it marked. That's a D.
Oh, that's okay. I just need it for a starting pitch. All right, come there, font. Let's see it through first and let the ringers practice.
Let's be the first pitch is G.
I'm sorry. All righty, you're on. 1, 2. Blessed be the joy that finds our hearts in Christian love, the fellowship of kindred ones is like to that above. All right, grab another one, another octave in the other hand, unless others want to come up and supplement what they're doing. Don't be shy. And we will add, then, let's see, and I have mallets. Oh, let me check my bass mallets. That's mallets. All right, someone to play the mallets. It's not tricky.
Debbie, how long are you going to leave us sitting down here? Some of us need
You
to
need
know.
the tray.
Yeah, we're on a countdown.
I'll write with you.
All righty.
What am I supposed to be
It
playing?
would actually be for a couple of songs, so it's not comfortable. I'll help you up and we can find different partners.
That's half of our service.
Well, this would only be for one song during
Oh,
the
I see.
service.
Okay.
All right, so let's put it together. So the mallets, all the mallets do is you click the handles on one.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
All right, so that's all you do. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. And then the other mallet people that we have there, take the smaller shafted mallet and go 2, 3. So here's the bass mallets. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, to add even some more percussive.
These are songs.
They are. All right, don't be shy. Now we'll put together the band. Put the band back together. All right.
I can do it when we're,
We have all the pieces?
yeah, I'll do this.
Okay, so here's our, we'll get our percussive Maui sticks going. 1, a way of outreach, it's a way of fun, getting people involved, and it's just a fun way to share the old signs. All right, so that's the first one. Amazing Grace works very similarly, and I don't have that one. In my book, that's on page 22. Is it in your book? 22.
We don't have an 18 behind.
I am so sorry. Well, we all know the words to it, and I put them in your handout. We'll just do a little bit of Amazing Grace, doing the same thing. Then we'll change it up a little bit. So Amazing Grace is on your handout, and we'll just sing it a cappella, accompanied by pipes and Maui sticks and mallets. Boom whackers were supposed to be here, but they didn't make it across campus. So that's the other thing that you can include with children using boom whackers on just the tonic and dominant chords. And I could talk about the boom whackers a little bit if you need to know a little bit more. I haven't incorporated that. It's really fun for kids because they can whack anything and it makes a sound. All right, but that was the other little bit I was going to add to this. All right, Amazing Grace, starting pitch on C. So if someone will give us a C, any C's. Yep, no, all right. Percussion, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. Etc. All right. And so again, your students, your kids, your young people, your anybody that'll just help build their skills in keeping rhythms. It also reinforces strong beats. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So the strong beats are always going to be down by the floor beside you in 3, 4. All right. Let's go. I'm going to change it up a little bit. If you're tired of sitting on the floor, you can find someone to trade with. The next thing we're going to use is we're going to get a little bit more complicated with these. We're going to do them in 4/4. I'll show you that pattern. And then we'll very soon start adding our cups. So Jesus Loves Me is the last page of your handout. And if you don't do this already, it's something that I utilize a lot. Most of the hymns and songs that we utilize for worship can be divided into your tonic, your subdominant, and your dominant chords. So what I've done with Jesus Loves Me at the top is I've put a 1, and in the key of D, this is D, F sharp, A, and then the subdominant is a 4, G, B, D, and then the dominant chord, A, C sharp, E. So we'll need more ringers up to find those chords. Bring your sheet with this, either table, it doesn't matter. And when I'm doing this in the congregations, anybody need a sheet? Yeah, there should be plenty of those. I'll use hand signals. 1. So I'm not shouting it out. 4. And I use a fist for 5 because visually it's hard to distinguish a 4 or a 5 if ringers are around the sanctuary and watching your space. And that way they don't necessarily have to have the music in front of them. They just need to know what number applies to them. All right, so let's practice our chords first for the ringers. Here's the 1. Okay, and the 4s. GBDs. 4s, GBDs. And the 5s, A, C sharp, E. And that'll be done with the fist. Alrighty? So let's just sing it with the bells for one time. Plenty of sound. We can use more ringers if you are so inclined to certainly add your voices. And here's the 1s. Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones to Him belong. They are weak, but He is that just happens with bells around the room, and all you have to do is just the hand signals. And so long as they know the hand signals, anybody can do it. You can seat them in the congregation. Sometimes what I will do is I'll just put the bells, scatter them in the congregation, and of course the ringers know, and they'll just sit where the bells are and just become part of the congregational sound as well. So be creative with your use of space where you put them. It doesn't always have to be necessarily right behind the table. All right, now to add a little bit of percussion, for those who have been patiently waiting on the floor, here is the 4/4 pattern.
This is cool.
And I tried to, as best I could, figure out how to write it down so you could remember it. And it goes like this. Side, side, Jesus loves me. So side, side, together, together. Side, side, together. And then right hands go across. All right, that's what's different. And then side, side, together. Left hands go across.
Oh, okay.
And then side, side, together, both go across. All right? Notice this was a little bit more complicated, but it's also a lot of fun. And the kids and the young at heart will pick up on it so quickly. So I will sing it. Well, we'll get to the throat taps later. I know where your mind's going. Alrighty, so here's the easy version in 4/4. I'll sing Jesus Loves Me. Well, you sing Jesus Loves Me, and then I'll sing the directions. How about that? And just pick a pitch. Something. Which one did we? That works. And side, side, together, together. Side, 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 together, left. Side, side, together, both. Side, side, together, together. Side, side, together, right. Side, side, together, left. Side, side, together, both. Got it?
Tell us, how do you do these? The first one is, I have to get,
Side, side, together,
Together.
together.
okay, side, side, together, together.
Side, side,
here on the
together, together. Side, side,
right here.
together, right.
I was gonna.
Well,
Side, side, together, left.
Oh, I don't mind.
Side, side, together, both. Alright?
We get it right.
So we try to get, why don't you bring along with us this time and we'll sing and give our percussive folks one more shot at this. And you can kind of try. The only tricky one if you're doing it from the chair is the one that's on the side. Alright, so give us our ones. And Jesus loves me. And here we go. Ready? And side, side, together, together. Side, side, together, right. Side, side, together, left. Side, side, together, side, side, together, side, side, together, right. Side, side, together, left. Side, side, together, Good. And you know, the laughter is part of the fun and the fellowship. You know, things like this doesn't necessarily just have to be limited to worship. It can be your fellowship time. You need a creative opening to get everyone involved, to build some team building, to have some fun. So just a different way to enjoy these hymns and hopefully feel our faith a little bit differently as well. All right. Anyone else want to try?
Somebody can try.
All right. I have bags of these. So there's enough for everyone. Thank you for being brave and coming outside. You don't have to go away. Yeah, we're going to get to the cups. Yeah, we're going to for more. I thought if anybody wants, anyone else wants to jump in.
Somebody needs to join in. Notice everybody's just running. Can hardly wait.
All right, cups.
Yeah,
Here's the next edition.
I will never get them.
So anyone would like some cups?
No, this is, I got it.
You gotta try some cups, even if you're standing behind.
Tim,
I
I'm
can
sorry.
show
to
you the
disturb but
basics.
That's all right, I understand.
All right, but you will need, actually, probably one will do, unless I get too, I won't get too complicated on it. I can show you. Oh,
she only
take a
gave me
cup and pass it out. Pass it around.
Norland.
Anyone else for a cup? All right, there are plenty of cups here. All right, plain cups in 4/4 as accompaniment. Back up a little bit. Is you'll start with the cup in front of one knee. Oh, good. Could take some more back there. Pass them around. Share the joy.
Break it down and pass it around.
That's right.
There.
Okay? We're going to do some clapping and passing. So it's clap, clap. 1, 2, 3. Clap, pick it up, and move it over in front of the other knee.
Yeah, thank you.
All right?
I think we're just doing it.
Yeah, we'll just do it. Yeah, we can do a circle later, but this is just to get the basics down. All right? And so it's clap, clap, tap, clap, pick it up, and move it over to the other side. All right? That's the easy one, right? Let's see how fast we can go. Ready? And clap, 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 and and one more time. And that happens too. It's part of the fun. Then you add that sound with folks who are doing these, and we have different percussive sounds. We add the bells, we add the voices, we add mallets. Bass mallets on 1 and 3, and mallet click with the treble mallets on 2 and 4.
Okay.
All right, so let's add the little mallet percussive section, and we may only have one pair there. In 4/4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 4, 2. Let's add the cups. 1, 2, and go. And Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Lord loves me so. Little ones to the kingdom, they are in God, He is strong. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. And we add the ringing to that with bells and chimes, and we've got the full ensemble going of different percussive sounds, and everyone's having a lot of fun doing it. They can sing if they're not comfortable, they can ring, and you're always going to have those that are going to want to get more complicated. Alrighty? So I will show you the next step if you want to get more complicated, and this really works better if you have a circle. And I don't know, did I write it down for you? I'm not sure. Anyway, so we've done the clap, clap, 1, 2, 3, passing it over. The next one is then clap. This is a little more complicated for those who want to be now advanced. Pick it up, rim, floor, bottom, pass, over.
Oh, come on. Did you hear this? It was a nightmare.
What did they do in New Zealand?
This was not in New Zealand, okay? I'm clashing cultures.
Yeah, they probably had beer in it.
Okay, I'm good on show me again.
Unless they go.
Okay. What I just did, the new one?
Yes.
All right, those are interested. You clap, pick it up, sorry, rim, yeah, that's right, rim, floor, sorry, bottom, put your hand down, pass, over, okay? So clap, pick it up, rim, floor, bottom, pass, over. And if you were sitting in a circle, then you would get a new cup on your right side and start with the easy pattern and go all over again. All right. Okay, shall we try the whole pattern from the beginning? Just for fun? Just for fun? All right, here's the easy one. And back, pick it up, rim, floor, bottom, pass, over. Clap, 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 pick it up, move it over to the other side. Clap, pick it up, rim, floor, bottom, pass. All right. Bells, you want to accompany with this one on Jesus Loves Me? We'll just stay with that one since we have it. And again, this is the one where you can give numbers, although I won't right now. I'll just locate the cups. All righty. Okay. So give us a fresh D because I may not have retained it. There. And. On it is too, but kids are always wanting, and young at heart, that was too boring. So then you can give them the more advanced version, and then you can challenge them. Okay, we've sort of done this configuration. Come up with your own patterns. All right, and let them be part of the creative process. And it all builds skill and builds fun. It builds teamwork. It builds fellowship. And it's a way to keep some of these hymns and beloved songs as part of what we do. Okay, so I was going to have, hopefully, boom whackers, but since we don't have that one, let me just talk you through this one for When the Saints. Because what I do with that one is I'll give boom whackers C4 and G4. And it's usually the ones who really need the most help with the steady beat. Of course, it's always, since there's the biggest ones, it's always the ones that kids want to play. So you'll have C4, C, D, just bouncing, 2, D, for when the saints, and they do that all the way through. And it ends a nice resonant tube sound. Then you would have the melody done with the tubes, and as I indicated here, 2 C's, 2 D's, 2 E's, 2 F's, 2 G's.
You want this G?
We can do it with bells for right now. Just pretend that they're on boom whackers. And I suppose that we could also substitute C3 and the G3 if they're not too heavy. I'll let you choose. So then the melody is C, E, F, G, and we do that 3 times. C, E, F, G, C, E, all right, so I'll take you through it. 1, 2, and 3. C, E, F, G, C, E, F, G, C, E, F, G, E, C, E, D, E, okay, I lost you. D, E, D, C, C, E, G, 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 F, E, F, G, E, C, sticks, the cardboard tubes. We add our cups. We add our mallets, and we have quite an ensemble with boom whackers, paper towel rolls, cups, and bells, chimes, laughter, and fun. Everybody knows the words to Throw in the Saints, yes? Let's try it with the bells. All right, where's my seat person? Over here.
On the base, G3, is it, it's playing just
Yes.
a-
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. This just kind of keeping the oompa
Right,
stuff.
okay.
What about this C?
And if you wanted to, you could mallet, actually.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be easier?
How do we do that?
Just mallet on this part of the casting.
Okay.
That's never mallet in the middle. And we'll talk more about that in my beginning, in the Sound of Music class for bells. All right, so let's add some voices to this. And if anybody wants to add some cup percussion, there you go. Some of the paper towel roll, mallet stick percussion. And we've got our hometown band.
It's in
You
full.
want a partner?
You know,
If we can remember it.
I can do this, you know, like this.
It's gonna
Okay.
be fast.
All right. If you can play that tune by yourself, I can do it with you. Yeah. I'll call it out. Okay. Now, okay, how many ways can my brain go?
I got two.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, move, stop and move.
You know, and actually, I forgot to show you the toss. I'll do that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You can leave that
Yeah,
one
yeah,
out.
it's just that kind of stuff.
You know, after everyone gets the basics, so this one there, if we together, boom, toss, catch. But only one person tosses and the other one has to catch.
It's like, right.
No, she was doing two hands.
She was in tossing
Toss
both
catch?
hands.
Only one person tosses. But
Okay.
there's,
No, both of them.
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah, you want me to, are you ready?
Ah,
I'm sorry.
Pretty good.
Hold these still.
yeah,
so if we're both
Oh,
gonna do
put
it
them
as a
down.
toss
I
catch,
guess.
the
That's
trick
it.
How do
is,
I get
one
some?
person
I know.
tosses to the middle, the other person tosses to the outside. Rather than just randomly throwing them at each other.
We don't think you can catch it.
Are you ready?
This one's girl, this one.
Both?
Yeah.
You toss to the middle, and you catch this way with it, and you toss to the outside.
Remember, buddy, you stay seated.
I'm understanding what she's doing.
When we both toss, one throws out this way, and one throws this
All
way.
right, slide,
But what happens to these? There's no
I
way to
catch
catch
it.
it.
You
toss.
toss it to me, toss it to me to the outside.
All right.
Oh, like, oh, okay, I'll go outside and the other
So
side.
No, you're going.
here,
Oh.
do your side.
Oh, that's right.
No, you have to aim it for me. I'm sorry, I can't toss
You
it.
gotta-
We're
you
too
press
close
me
together.
there.
Can we
Because
switch?
there's not enough.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Side. All right. Side. The other.
No, I'm sorry, I'm not coordinated enough for that.
That's crazy.
As I say that,
I could see that one.
Because you have to be,
it builds
Yeah,
fun,
you
it
have
builds
to-
we have to be
communities,
able to.
you trade partners. It's really, really a fun icebreaker. Okay, so back for When the Saints.
That's not
Because it's fun to do the
Yeah.
song When the
It's
Saints,
gonna
but
be
you save it for the end.
Can we do just the regular?
I can tell you're feeling really
I
uncomfortable.
catch yours.
No.
It's okay.
Oh, I goofed up.
Oh,
I
and
see,
then,
I
no,
call
that's the
it.
thing, it doesn't matter. That's when the last comes in,
Because then you'll miss the
especially when you miss
next
the throw.
Yeah.
40 positions.
Well, you just leave
All
till
right.
it's out.
Yeah.
So we have our bass going on the mallets. Go ahead and get us going. 1, bum, 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 bum. Maybe just a little slower since we're learning the percussion part. 1, 2. C, D, F, G. C, D, F, G. C, D, F, G. C, E, F, cups. All right. Then are we going to do? All right. Here we go.
That's the negative.
Start our bases and mallets. You can play too. If we have any hands left over for mallets, 1 to 3. Getting the idea here. So we've got all kinds of different participating, and even if you've never done it before, you can be drafted into doing this for fun. Let's start with our low bells. Ready? Not too fast. Bong. Keep that going. We'll get our pattern together here. And we won't throw yet. Want to do a throw this time just for fun?
Okay.
All right, here we go. If we're in the same grade, you're singing, and 1, 2, 3. Sing it to me, and so it goes. So it goes.
I had to Google it,
So you kind of get the drift. Okay, the last one I have for you is in your sheets. Is Dona Nobis. Yeah, this is the only class I ever do on the floor.
Oh, thank goodness.
Amen, hallelujah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Dona Nobis Pacem, I want to just throw that out to you. You've seen the different kinds of things that we have done with cups, and just sort of gather in a small group and come up with something for Dona Nobis Pacem. I'll give you a few minutes to gather in groups. Like, why don't we have these ringers be a group? We'll have the folks on this side sort of be a group, and the folks on this other side be a group. And just put your heads together for a moment. Okay, what would be fun patterns to use for Dona Nobis Pacem? I'll give you a few minutes
yeah, that's your 3
to
pounds.
talk about that.
We could do 1, 2, 3.
It's 3/4. Dona Nobis is 3/4.
Oh,
All right, so think about how you might like to.
There's 3 patterns. Can you do that together right with
So you can even make up something different with cups.
We're gonna do it together.
What if you did, what if you did, yeah, but the phrase pattern is cool. So what if you did down, together, together, down, together, right, down, together, left, and then down, together, both.
Okay, say it again.
So it's down, together, together, down, together, right, down, together, left, down, together, both. Together, together, down, together,
Right, we have to practice.
left, down, together.
Good, we need lots of help. This is good. I've got a group of 4 or 5 teenage boys who came together for the first
All right, who's ready to share?
teenage boys. So this is good.
It looked like this team was ready to share.
They are.
All right.
I'll volunteer them.
So here's our first sharing moment for Dona Nobis.
Okay.
Have fun.
Down together.
Down, together, together, down, together, right, down, together, left, down, together, both.
Yeah, yeah, that works. So let's sing it along with them. And Dona Nobis Pacem, Pacem.
Good job.
I'm still at the, I have to say it part. I can't sing and do
You're not
it.
gonna do this in August. You're not gonna do this on Sunday in August.
That's exactly where
Good.
I'm going.
Maybe not. That's all we have.
Together, that's what I
Good,
was
good. All right, let's do it. Did they hear all that way down there? What did you say? Go ahead.
First time, the first line melody, the theme melody, the second time through, the second counter melody, the third time, the third counter melody, the fourth time, do the whole thing together.
All right, and so what are we gonna do it on? How are we gonna do it?
We need more beat players than we have.
Let's go ahead and first time mallet. Just the melody with your mallets on the bells, and make sure that when you mallet, you're only malleting at the lip end of the instrument, never in the waist. And I'll be talking about that more in a class today. Why don't we add your little percussive bit to this while they mallet the melody
Okay.
on the table?
Our percussive.
And then we can add some mallets with heavy bass mallets on 1 and mallet clicks on 2 and 3.
We're gonna go
And we can do a little thing. Let's get that going first. 1, 2. Why don't you introduce it? You get us started.
Okay, 1,
1,
ready,
2,
go.
3. Is that our tempo?
Together, together, down, together, right, down, together, down, together, both. Down, together, together, down, together, right, down, together,
Oh.
down, together, down, together, down, together, right, down,
Now let's go ahead and sing. No, no, no.
They started after.
yeah, our patterns off.
It's okay, just keep going.
There you go.
Good, 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 good. All right, so on these last little bits, I want to give you an opportunity to say, okay, what kind of patterns would you like to see and do again, just so you have something to take with you. And we can change it up. I still have more things we can do on the floor. If you haven't run yet, we can put you behind the bells on some things.
Anything syncopated? Do you ever do syncopated?
You're the teacher, you tell us.
Yeah, syncopated? Sure, what do you want to syncopate there?
I don't know. I want you to tell me.
All right, all right. Let's go back to Jesus Loves Me.
Oh, Jesus loves me.
All right, so you figure out a pattern with that.
Yeah, me and my big mic head.
You stay straight with our chords. We'll come up. You want to do cups or you want to do tubes? On Jesus Loves Me.
Oh, I don't care. We can do two.
All right.
Whatever you want.
Anybody want to do cups?
I'll do that.
All right, come on down. Anybody else want to do cups? This will be our bronze
Can't
knowledge.
sing it and do it. I can't sing it and do it.
No, okay, we're not going to do the throw. All right, so we'll start with, have you come up with something now?
1 and 3, 4. 1 and 3.
Good, good.
And
Good.
3.
Good.
I can't
All right, so let's
do
do our
different things with my hands when we do that.
first.
Like, that's kind of sort.
And up, 1,
Yeah.
We're doing something different. We're doing something different.
That's exactly the kind of fun and creativity that you should have doing that.
It was
All right,
you.
go back to the books, and I will let those who are behind the tables select a song from the book. Your choice. The index is in the back. Holy, holy, holy. All right. Holy, holy, holy. So that's in 4/4. Are we up to that for 4/4?
Okay, okay. No cussing now.
No,
Would
please,
you-
no cussing.
Would you like to
And
sit
you can
down?
have time
you're
for
doing
this as
great.
well.
You're all good. I've already sat down there.
Sitting here?
I wanted to do, the cups are beyond me. I can't.
You want a cup partner? We need a cup partner. For Michelle? I can't do both.
If I was down on the floor, you'd be laughing.
All right.
That's the way I
All
am
right.
too.
I'll try to go back and forth. Okay. So holy, 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 give us our first chord, the ones. All right, so that's our key. Here we go. 1, 2, we'll start it out. Holy, 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 Lord God
One of these days, we're both gonna kick.
Can we get a camera on that?
Well, unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, he's on. He's being good.
All right, any questions, ideas, other ideas you want to share that come to your mind? Take it out into the community, use it for fellowship, use it for worship. Integrate it with using all ages, all kids. Use it with your bells to reinforce, and that's what I started with. I had a couple of weak ringers that were sort of holding the ensemble back, and I thought, oh man, what can I do to involve these ringers that just don't quite have the coordination between the left and right hand bell yet, but I still want to keep them involved. So that's when I thought, oh, I wonder if I could put this Mallory stick stuff that I picked up in New Zealand, and oh yeah, I know this little cup thing. And that was just one of those eureka aha moments for me as a way of building skills and using a couple of those kids that just needed a little bit more help. And they were thrilled to be able to add a different sound. It was also a way to use extra ringers when you have too many children that show up and you want to keep everyone challenged. Rotate the kids out to add a little fun percussion with different kinds of things. And you may even think of other things besides boom whackers, which I didn't have in here, but hopefully you understand enough about how to incorporate that. Yes, ma'am?
When you use the boom whackers, are they hitting them on the floor?
They can hit them on anything. Now, usually I try to get it controlled. You know, I don't tell them that they can necessarily hit it on anything. But especially with the low ones, and they're so, they're short, I usually have them just do them side by side on
Up
the
and
floor.
down.
But once you get into the upper octaves of the plastic boom whopper tubes, you can take two C's and just hit them together. Put an octavator cup on one of them and leave the octavator cup off of the other one, and they just click together. Now they're going to figure out that they can hit each other, okay? But it's just going to happen. But again, they're not going to hurt each other, and you just kind of lay down the rules of what you think is appropriate. I also play some handbell games, especially with my younger ones, just to break things up a little bit. And one of the favorite ones, and this is certainly another session entirely, is that I'll hold whatever the lower bell is in your set. Doesn't matter, I'll just take one of these. And the first person who is in line at their end of the row wads up their gloves and tries to throw it into the bell. So we call it basket bell. All right, and you can score points. If I don't have to, if the bell does not ring and the gloves go in the bell, then that's like a 3-point shot. If it kind of goes, hangs over the lip, then that's just 1 point. If for some reason the gloves miss it altogether, well, or if I have to ring the bell to catch them, then it's no score. And just another way of having fun and giving a break in the action, and I've got tons more, but that's one that my kids really seem to enjoy a lot. That has nothing to do with singing your favorite hymn, it just kind of gives them a little bit of a break. It's just kind of a brain break. It's a brain break. Another one that I will do is I'll have them face one direction. This is after they know their techniques. And I will trace a handbell technique on their back. And then that person needs to transfer it all the way up the line. So that when it gets to the front person, they have to know what that technique is. All right, that's a little bit more educational. But again, it's a short thing that just kind of brings a little bit of a break into the process when you've been working their heads so long. I spent last week doing another festival conference where I had children who had never run before, and I said, "Oh, we're counting so much." And yes, they are. Did you have a question over here?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What's the occupator cap?
The octavator cap, that is on boom whackers, and it's a little black cup that slides on the end of the boom whacker, and it changes the octave. All right, so if you have an octavator cup on one C, and you don't have the octavator cup on another C, then you essentially have different octaves that are playing together. Thanks for asking.
The Pine Lake people may have some of those with them. I know they have boom whackers.
Okay.
So I saw them down the bottom,
Okay.
and they probably have them.
Okay, so that's the real quick thing. And yeah, add with your bells, again, as a way to build continuity, to be able to use everyone regardless of their skills. And you know, I've been talking about the young at heart, but even beginner adults will benefit from these kinds of things. I like to do everything that I can to build confidence. I don't want to scare people away. And starting them off with these kinds of things, and even playing from these books the very first time in worship. Sometimes it's one thing to be in practice and try to have the struggle of notes, and then you have that other psychological hurdle when volunteers and those who are not as rhythmic, musically skilled, when it comes to playing in the service itself, like, ah! Something real simple like this, doing the Jesus Love Me with the chords, adding those kinds of things, helps them transition and get over their fear of contributing to the worship environment. And what I find, and you probably have too, is that many of my ringers are not singers. So it's a way to bring them into music as a beautiful way of using them in worship.